Hello, my name is Rick Blake and I'm running for City Council in Grand Rapids, Minnesota. I would say I am an outdoor person for some great things, but I also like to play cribbage at the Y and things like that. But our wonderful outdoors is great here. In the past, I've been a fisherman, a hunter. I love the beginning of the Mesaba Trail. I'm a little older now, but I used to run that trail probably 30 miles a week. That was a while ago because I have gotten older, but I do miss that. I enjoy biking around town. We have some great bike trails, Veterans Park, and going to the Y across that wonderful bridge across the Mississippi River, the pedestrian bridge. I like that. And I think, so, I'd say outdoors, but I also enjoy the indoors. I have 4 children. I had 4 children. I have two have passed. So a lot of that has to do with health care. So that's one of my issues that I care a lot about. That's beyond a city councilor though. I had a dog that passed a couple months ago, and I do miss that dog. It was a dog that our daughter who passed had, and so it was a link. But that dog was just wonderful. I really enjoyed. That was one of the things that was maybe easy to be an outdoor person, because I would walk the dog from my home in Northeast Grand Rapids across the pedestrian bridge down River Road to the other bridge and across by Blandon, and then back home or around Ice Lake. So I missed that dog and the exercise that I gave it. And I have 2 boys now. One is in Grand Rapids and the other one's in Duluth. I love the outdoors. I think it's great. When we used to bring people to Blandon as a potential employee, the things that I would talk about were the library, the trails, of course. I would talk about the hospital. I would talk about the Rife Center. I would talk about the YMCA. Those things are really good about Grand Rapids. We also have a healthy economy, lots of growth. Lately, L&M's expansion, Yanmar's expansion, Highway 35 project, those kinds of things are really good for Grand Rapids. We do need housing to help house the workers that we need for those jobs. But I'd say, just the fact that we're in Minnesota's nature, that's the great thing about Grand Rapids. And I think that's one of the things that people love when they come here and want to live here. And we should have a sign that says, if you lived here, you'd be home now, as people are going back down to the cities. Well, I might go for a walk. I go to the Y 3 days a week at least, and work out in the morning. I think that's helpful. I might read, and I think that's probably, and I might sit down and think about what's causing the stress as well. Maybe look for a solution to a problem, or talk it over with my spouse or people that I know might know something about whatever's causing the stress. Well, I don't think those 2 things are exclusive. I think I do like doing things for people. So service is important, but change is also important. If, for example, we're looking at having a franchise fee to help pay for streets in Grand Rapids, because that's always been a struggle and it's always been an issue I care a lot about. So that would be a change. That would be spreading since it would be a franchise fee, it's not a tax. So even nonprofit entities would be sharing in helping pay for our street improvements. So I think that's a change, but I think it's a good one. It helps lower our property taxes. That's very important. I think change as far as, even change like preparing the site and building that new L&M distribution center, that's a change too, and it's a change for the better. So Those kinds of things I think are important. But serving people is also important. The most important, I think, for city council are things like police, infrastructure, fire, those kinds of things. They're not really partisan things. They're just things that we need as a city. And so that's the service part of it, I think. Okay. Oops. Oh, that is one. What is your vision for the future of Grand Rapids residents' quality of life? Okay. Well, I would say in Grand Rapids, it's not any different than many other cities. I'm on the Coalition of Greater Minnesota Cities, so I'm on the board there, and I get to hear about other cities' issues and problems, and I think to have a good quality of life, to make Grand Rapids a great place to live, to work, and to raise a family, I think you need the things that I talked about already, like good police and fire protection, good roads. You also need good jobs. You need child care for people who are filling those jobs, and you need housing. And those are things that we have some influence over. I know Kutaska has a great child care program up at Murphy School, the former Murphy School. The Y has a great child care program, so we need to keep that up and maybe find some new ones. Housing is always an issue, and so I think, and good jobs. So we're getting all three. We're getting good jobs with the expansions. We have housing that's being built. Many housing units have been built since I was on the council. And childcare is always a challenge. It's not just the availability, but it's also the affordability. So we need to continue to work on that. All right. Does the city have a role in addressing mental health issues? Well, I think that's a big challenge. I think we do. I think we need to make the city a place where people that are employed in that field would want to live. We do have North Homes here, and we have Essentia, and we have Grand Itasca, and I think that those are important facilities for Grand Rapids. There's an element of it also in the legislature, and that's where my service on the Coalition of Greater Minnesota Cities makes a difference, because I do have a lobbying role with that organization. So I'm familiar with the legislature because some of those issues are at a state level. And so the state needs to help us address those. So I think that's a valuable role for me. I'm really glad that I have a leadership role in the coalition, and I think that makes a difference in my ability to serve the residents of Grand Rapids. All right. What is your view on public safety in our community? Well, that was one of the issues that I said was the fundamental and basic issue of a city council, public safety. So that includes fire, and it includes police, and also I'm sure good roads are part of that too, because you have to be able to get places to provide that service, and ambulance service. Well, on the police department, we did increase the pay of policemen to try to keep, and police officers, to try to make sure that people want to stay in Grand Rapids. I know that Andy Morgan, the police chief, has a great outlook. He's got a great opinion of the police department, and so do the officers that serve. So we're lucky in that. Police officers want to stay in Grand Rapids. I did a ride along, and that was great. I saw some of the things that go on. The fire department, we have a brand new fire department, and that's great. I know personally several firemen, and so we're lucky to have that. And as far as the streets and infrastructure that all those public safety people drive on, I think that's something that we're addressing too with this franchise fee. So, and like I said, that's a primary responsibility of a city council.